Welcome to Inside the Core, the Players and Coaches podcast. I'm your host, CJ. Today we are joined with Fairfield's alumni, Obie. Thank you for joining.
Appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate you for getting your hair done during this. I like that. So tell us about you. Where did your passion for basketball start?
I'm not gonna lie. When I was born, my dad had put a basketball in my hand like the second I came out the womb. It's crazy. My parents tell me this story all the time. Like my dad had a basketball waiting, like just right next to my mom, and then as soon as he was able to like have access to touch me, he put a ball in my hand. Didn't even hug me or nothing. Just ball in my hand and took a picture.
Instantly knew.
So it was kind of I was born into basketball, which is not even, it's a lot of people's way of getting into basketball. So that was me, just being born into it.
Definitely. How has your dad's inspiration helped you on your basketball journey?
Well, my dad, he played at Murray State. I forgot what year he said, but he played at Murray State and he played overseas. And with him playing overseas and stuff like that, he instilled a crazy work ethic into myself since a young age. So I've been just working at basketball since I could walk for real. I was in Pampers walking around the gym that he was coaching and just shooting basketballs as high as I could. But I mean, just him being as successful as he was, he showed me what it really meant to work at basketball, and just his inspiration just helped me in a way that I can't even explain for real.
Definitely. Shout out to dad for real. About you, what is your biggest accomplishment on the court? What are you most proud of?
Shoot, I'm most proud of just being able to show my little brother the ropes for real. Show my little brother how to really become who he is and what his identity is on the basketball court. I don't really take pride in what I do anymore. I'm really trying to help him, and that's my biggest goal slash accomplishment is just being able to teach him. That's my biggest thing.
Definitely being that big brother and being that mentor to him that your dad was to you.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's my biggest thing.
So let's talk about your Fairfield basketball season. Describe that for me.
My seasons were kind of up and down. Was coached by Coach Wyrick, DJ Wyrick. That's there now actually. And my junior and senior year are the times where I played full varsity. It was I never really started or nothing like that. I wasn't the star player ever. I was behind three D1 basketball players, but somehow, somewhere, I always made a way to just be myself and become who I was at Fairfield. And I've learned how to play in a role because of Fairfield, and I just thank Fairfield every day, literally for that. Thank my head coach, for that every day. A lot of people thought I should have been starting when I was at Fairfield, but it is what it is.
Definitely. And you had people around you that definitely inspired you and kept you working.
Yes,
That's,
literally, iron sharpens iron. That's the only thing I say all the time.
I fully believe that every single day. You can't get better unless you have someone who's right there by your side, and you're never better than another person. You
Facts.
got to just help them grow with you.
Facts.
After that first season of winning the GMC championships, what was the plan going into that next year? Did you guys make any changes? You guys won that second year back to back. So did your coach implicate a change, or was it, hey, we already won, let's just keep the train rolling?
We really kept everything the same. Um, my junior year, we had a few guys that were there before Coach Wyrick had came. Shout out to Logan Murphy and Merlin. Them two guys are really two guys that really pioneered the whole thing our first year winning it. And then going into the second year, we had picked up a guy from Mount Healthy that had came over to play with his name, Colin Tobert. And when he came over, it's like the thing changed. We had Logan Woods, Colin Tobert, Ray Coney, Amir Rogers, and then me. So it was like, at all times, we had 3 to 4 guys that could go get a bucket whenever they wanted to on the court. So it wasn't really a coaching change. It was more so a personnel change that really helped us and thrive, because it got to the point where Coach Wyrick wasn't even coaching us. We were just out there hooping. and he would just give us the scouting report, and we would go hoop, and that was kind of our identity. We would sit down on defense, and we would just do what we had to do back on the offensive end.
That's awesome. That's a good system you guys got, honestly. And you guys got back-to-back champions, so clearly the system worked. So, what is your go-to move when you need to make a clutch shot in a big time?
Shoot, I don't even know. Probably a sidestep three or something like that. Um, when I've had a couple times where I might have needed to make a big shot, and I've never really done anything to where it was just like, oh, it's my signature. You feel me? I would just go to the rack and get to the rack. But if I had to choose one, it'd probably be like a sidestep and shoot over the person for real.
From the Smith League to the Kingdom League, describe your basketball journey after high school.
After high school, I had went to prep school called Flight Academy, to a prep school called Flight Academy in Dayton. And then that summer, my Uncle Scotty, shout out Uncle Scotty, he has a team called the Cincinnati Warriors, a pro team in the TBL, that they play in the Smith League and the Kingdom League every year. And I just ended up playing with them just to get some rec in and just to get better. Because, the Smith League and the Kingdom League always got some pros or always got somebody that's really good. So just, like I said, iron sharpens iron. So me being in that league just pretty much helped me, honestly, just become a better basketball player all around my game.
For sure. Shout out Uncle Scotty, for real.
Shout out Uncle Scotty, man.
So this summer you had the chance to play against RWE at Spooky. How was it playing with a team of some of the best against a team of some of the best?
That was a very unique experience, I'd say. It wasn't what I thought it'd be, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But played against some of the top high school recruits and things like that. It was really a game where I was just out there just soaking it all up and things like that, really just having fun. It was a fun experience, I feel like. Very unique, especially being around all the people with all the fame and notoriety that you see. It's kind of crazy, and it's kind of crazy to say, but a lot of them do have that aura that people say that they do, and it's kind of crazy to see in real life, honestly.
Definitely. Seeing them on the screen versus real life, their energy is the same, is definitely a good flow. That time playing during there, did you learn anything from any of those players, whether it was an RWE player or someone on your team?
Honestly, to be honest, nah. I ain't really learned anything. Just because, they're high school kids when it comes
100%.
down to it. And, a lot of the stuff that they did, I've seen before. It wasn't really much that I learned. I just was just happy to be there because I was playing against RWE. It was crazy to say. To me.
No, 100%. And that, to this day, that's something you can put on your record, and it's really cool to say. How was that crowd compared to a regular AAU crowd?
It was insane. It was like, I don't know how many people were there, but there was a bunch of people there. It was actually insane. And that whole weekend, what's crazy is that I was playing on a different team with my boy Carter. Shout out to Carter. I was playing on a different team, trying to play RWE, trying to work our way up in the back bracket. And we ended up losing. And a coach picked up my little brother's teammate, Gabe. I walked over there with Gabe. I was like, hey, let me run too. So that's how I even ended up playing against RWE. I ended up playing with a whole different team. And it was crazy. The crowd was insane. But the whole weekend, the crowd was not even nowhere near the other games. It was all at RWE. So it was crazy to see.
It was actually funny walking through that gym and seeing it empty at all the other courts, but RWE's court was full.
RWE's court full around the whole thing.
Top row, bottom, they were not letting anybody through.
Literally, it's crazy.
This summer, you also got to go from the court to the coach's chair, coaching during fall ball. How was that for you?
Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to him.
For sure.
That was crazy. I never really coached before. I wanted to test my skills doing that. Honestly, coaching was a crazy thing for me. Actually, I coached Jude, the one that you did a podcast with already. I coached him.
Yeah.
Coaching, obviously, football is not as serious as it is in school ball and things like that. So I just wanted to see how it was and test my feet in the water. I enjoyed coaching. It was pretty fun. And when it comes to just being able to make the subs and make the right changes and things like that on the fly, it's really hard. And there's a reason. And the reason why I put myself in that situation too, Coach, was to see how other coaches feel in those situations. So now I know maybe if I'm not happy with what the coach is doing, maybe he sees something different. And now I know that just because of how much I was coaching in the football league.
Oh, for sure. Putting yourself in the coach's shoes gives you a different perspective.
Of course.
For sure. So, do we think we can see a future in coaching?
1,000%. That's what I want to do after. No matter if I'm playing, or if I'm coaching, or if I'm being an athletic trainer, whatever it is, I want to be a part of basketball. That's my passion. I love basketball too much to even just give it up like that. So whether I'm playing or coaching, I want to be a part of it because I feel like I have a pretty nice basketball IQ when it comes to the sport. So if I could just contribute in any way to a team, I will do that.
For sure. For sure. Definitely wish you the best of luck in that journey, wherever route you decide to take.
I appreciate that.
So, on to the route of your YouTube. What sparked your interest in YouTube and vlogging?
Well, I've been doing YouTube since I was a little kid. I used to watch like DDG, Illuminati, and then like when I did that, I used to always want to do the things that they was doing. And so I used to make videos of me like going around the neighborhood ding dong ditching. They're not on YouTube no more, but they were. I used to go on there and ding dong ditch. I used to make videos with like Charlie Brown action figures and just try to make cinematic things like that. So that sparked my love and interest for YouTube. And when I became a little bit older, I say my sophomore year is when I was like, okay, I might need to take this a little bit serious. So I started to take it a little bit serious, and then I wasn't ever consistent with it until about now. And now I'm consistent with it, and now I'm starting to see the growth that I'm glad I'm seeing.
Definitely. Where do you see the future of your channel going?
For me, I want to do videos about like basketball and things like that. I've noticed that when I make videos of me playing one-on-one or me coaching the basketball team or me even playing against RWE, it was the most interacted with videos and things like that. So I just want to start pushing my brand to be basketball. Like I said, I want my future to be in basketball no matter what it is.
100%.
So I'm going to start pushing that and things of that nature, just basketball for YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what I want my future to look like for.
On the sideline of the fall ball game, I peeped you had a cameraman with you filming you. Is that how you're thinking of running your channel?
Yes, I want to do that. That's my boy Shifty. Shout out to Shifty. Shout out to my guy. Yeah, he was just there, and I do want to do it like that because if I got to vlog the whole game and coach it, it's kind of crazy. So
yeah,
I'm gonna just start having a cameraman with me and things like that, and that can help me a lot. I feel like.
Oh, for sure. Especially if you get a cameraman that you start flowing with and you guys start building together. Honestly, you'd be unstoppable.
Of course. I appreciate that.
I'm on the YouTube train as well, too. And I've been doing it since I was 13 as well. So I understand that, hey, I have all these ideas. I know the game. I know how it's gone, So growing with it, I understand for sure.
For sure.
So as a vlogger and a player, you said earlier how some of your videos, you've privatized them, ding-dong ditching, they're not there anymore. How do you plan your videos now to be user-friendly for your image and still fun and entertaining?
Well, a lot of my videos pertain around basketball, like I said, and some of them, most of them being vlogs on my girlfriend. Shout out to her.
Shout out to the girlfriend.
Yeah, so, me, I don't really plan my videos as much anymore. I really just go with the flow. And if there's something that's bad, then I edit it out. That's just how I do it now, honestly.
That's the best part about being your own editor, too, is that you really can just do what you want and then be like, all right, I don't want that in there.
Thanks.
For sure. And finally, what do you see yourself accomplishing in the next 5 to 10 years, whether that is with your girl and your relationship, your YouTube, or your basketball? Where do you see your life going in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, definitely I want to be a pro basketball player in the next 5 years, no matter where that is. My YouTube, I want to at least have 200,000 subscribers. I've been thinking about that, and I really want to get that done by the next 2 years, honestly. And then next 5 years, I want to just be married and just be living my life and be happy with God. And that's what I want my life to look like.
100%.
That's my goals, and I'm excited to get them done in the next 5 years.
100%. I wish you nothing but the best in all your goals.
I appreciate that. You too.
For sure, man. I appreciate you for taking the time during your hair appointment to step into the podcast and answer a few of our questions. But that's it for this episode. Make sure you follow Obie on YouTube, Instagram. Everything will be listed right down below. And that's it for this episode. Tune in next week to see another guest. Thanks for joining. Peace. So averaging 23 points per game is not anything lightly. So definitely for sure, how do you stay motivated each game with that target on your back?
I don't try to stress it too much. I know like coming into games, teams usually like looking to slow me down. Um, I wouldn't say like I really like go out and set a goal for that night. I just really go out. I take what they give me and I do what I do every night.